Now let's talk about tensions on the other side of the Pacific. Tensions brewing between the US, Colombia and Venezuela. We've been telling you about the US strikes in the Caribbean. Washington has been attacking what it calls drug boats. And now it has turned to targets in the Pacific. This is the first such attack. American forces have bombed 2 vessels in the Pacific, one on Tuesday and the second one on Wednesday. The US says these boats were carrying narcotics. Their strikes killed 5 people and they've opened a new front in Donald Trump's war on drugs. Take a look at the images first. This video was released by the US Secretary of War. His name is Pete Hegseth. He called it a lethal kinetic strike. He said the vessel was operated by, and I'm quoting again, a designated terrorist organization. Pete Hegseth compared them to the al-Qaeda, the terrorist group behind the 9/11 attacks. He said, and I'm quoting again, just as al-Qaeda waged a war on our homeland, these cartels are waging war on our border and our people. By likening drug cartels to al-Qaeda, he's made America's posture quite clear. Washington sees this as a war. And that's a big shift. It's also a controversial shift because the US has not provided any evidence. Did the boats actually have drugs? We don't know. Who was operating them? Which group did they belong to? Again, we don't know. The US is just calling them narco-terrorists. No proof, no trial, just strikes. Let's put this into perspective. The Americans have carried out at least 7 such attacks in the Caribbean. Together, they have killed around 37 people. The White House says this is about stopping drug trafficking into America, and Donald Trump insists they're saving lives.
The only way you can't feel bad about it is you realize that you won't feel badly about it, is you realize that every time you see that happen, you're saving 25,000 American lives. Every one of those boats that gets knocked out is saving 25,000 American lives, not to mention the torn up families all over the country. And whenever I see that, I say to myself, I just saved 25,000 lives.
So Trump has called the strikes self-defense, but experts say it looks more like a military campaign. They've called it, and I'm quoting, a breach of the UN Charter and an extrajudicial execution. And it's not just about the strikes, it's also become personal between the leaders. Donald Trump has trained his guns on the presidents of Colombia and Venezuela. The Colombian president is Gustavo Petro. Trump has accused him of making drugs. That's what he said. He's making drugs. He's also called Petro a thug and a bad guy. And he has cut aid to Colombia. Remember, the US and Colombia have been close allies in the region. They have been partners in the war on drugs for decades. But in recent months, the ties have nosedived and Colombia has hit back sharply. President Petro has said that he would take legal action in American courts. He's also called the US strikes in the Pacific acts of murder. Next door, Venezuela has also been furious. Like I said, the US has conducted several strikes off its coast. Venezuela's president is Nicolás Maduro. He says Washington is using the strikes as a cover for regime change. And he has warned that any attack on Venezuelan soil will be an act of war. And now Maduro is also putting on a show of force. Yesterday he said Venezuela has 5,000 Russian missiles, enough to counter the US forces.
Every military force in the world is aware of the power of the Igla-S, and Venezuela has deployed no fewer than 5,000 Igla-S in key air defense positions to ensure the peace, stability, and tranquility of its people. More than 5,000. Those who understand, understand.
He's talking about the Russian-made Igla-S missiles. These are short-range, shoulder-fired missiles. They can shoot down low-flying aircraft. Maduro says they're deployed across Venezuela. It's his way of saying, don't mess with us. But the US is doubling down. They have deployed warships, F-35 fighter jets, and even a nuclear submarine to the Caribbean. Thousands of American troops are on standby, ostensibly for a counter-narcotics operation. But in reality, it's turning into a geopolitical showdown. Washington says the strikes are necessary. The South American countries say they're acts of war. Clearly, this is no longer about drugs, though. It's about power and control.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.